Looking for a natural and more permanent solution to your health problems that has no side effects and addresses conditions from cell level, thereby bringing total wellness to your body? Then look no further, because we have the right products for that condition.
STC30 is the ultimate solution. Try STC30 for health restoration today. You can't help getting older, but you can live longer and stay younger with Super Life.
Our presentation. My name is Ochori Bafos. So our company is called Super Life. Life is Super. We started on 22nd May 2017. You can go to Google and then you get more, www.superlifeworld.com. These are the founders of Super Life company. We have Mr. Laitekin, CEO founder. Then we have Paul, we have Harry, then we have Leo. So this company to be introduced in Uganda was brought by a gentleman called Mr. Innocent Mugisha Bruce. Our CEO Laitekin has achievement in life. As you can see, he's a graduate from Malaysia National University with 25 years in financial planning industry. This gentleman achieved $1.2 million income in first year doing this business. So he broke a record. Then this Super Life has so far merged in over 70 countries, as you can see: United Kingdom, Mexico, Brazil, South Africa, Bahrain, then from Malaysia, then Uganda. So in Uganda, we are the CEO in the whole of Africa. So we have also a certificate of cooperation. We are cooperated with the government, and we have a certificate of National Drug Authority. Since we have a stem cell product, we have been awarded this product, the certificate. Yes, then we have also a certificate of KCCA. Our mission is to improve the health and well-being of nation through the delivery of scientifically tested and clinically proven products. So we improve your health at the same time also your well-being, and that is in financial state. So we are partnering with Mibel by Chemistry. This company is found in Mibel in Switzerland, Mibel by Chemistry, with 86,000 qualified doctors. And Mibel by Chemistry has 700 researchers, people who are qualified. Mibel is the first company to manufacture what we call paracetamol, and this is the company which is manufacturing our products. And we have 3 products. We have SIC, we have STC15, then we have the giant product STC30.
My name is Dr. Ochori Bafos. I'm a medical researcher. I deal with stem cell, and today we are going to know what a stem cell is all about and what a cell is. How can we embark this technology to help people who are in need of help?
Much for coming in to watch on this video. You're going to know a lot in the current situation. I just wish you safe stay as you listen to me and watch everything which I'm going to explain to you. So I'll just beg I remove this so that you can get my clear sound. I'm a medical researcher. I'm so glad to have you today. We are going to learn a lot in this video which you are watching right now. So I want to start with, because we are in the season of pandemic disease which is called COVID-19. So COVID-19 is a dangerous disease. I advise you to put on mask, and also if possible you can stay in quarantine. Is okay. Why? Because this disease, this virus, when it enters into your lungs, it will only come and affect your alveolus. So when this alveolus has been affected, remember when the oxygen enters into the body, it diffuses into the arteries. So when it diffuses into the arteries, this process of the virus, when it enters here, we have the cell type 1 cell and then type 2 cells. So the virus uses these cells to break it down so that it can multiply itself. So this virus also goes and attacks what we call a DNA, and your DNA, where the old other cells are produced from. Now, when you put on mask, it helps like this. This virus, after entering here, it will create in the alveolus, it will create what we call a fluid. It will this process of diffusion. When the virus comes, it will widen this area where the diffusion takes place of the gases exchange here. Now, what does it mean? If this fluid accumulates here, meaning every air which will leave the lungs will contain the virus. That is why it is advisable for someone to put on mask when you're in the public. Now, if you come to the cases of spray, remember this thing comes when someone sneezes. There's in the nose we have what we call trigeminal nerves. These trigeminal nerves are connected with the nasal receptor, which receives this virus. Then you find someone sneeze. So when you sneeze, you give the fluids from the lungs intensity to move into another person. So when someone is in a quarantine, is very safe, because assuming one person has got the virus, then this person can spread to 3 people a day. These 3 people also can spread to another 3, meaning on a 3rd day we shall have 9 people. These 9 people also, if they spread it to 3, in the 4th day we are going to have 29 people. Then you find that the virus will increase at a higher rate. So you can stay home if possible. Also, you can wear a mask. A mask is like your weapon, which can help you to protect yourself against other people who are infected. Now, we have several things, like we have what we call the comorbidities. These comorbidities, these are the predisposing factors of COVID-19. And today I'm going to discuss with you and I show you how these comorbidities can be overcome with what we call a stem cell therapy. Okay? So I'm going to list down all the comorbidities. For example, we have the age. For example, people with 48 years and above, cancer, which is as a result of malignant cells in the body. We have also hypertension. We have diabetes. We have sickle cells. We have kidney diseases. We have hormone imbalance, people with hormone imbalance. We have people with ulcers. We have people with arthritis. Then, mentioned by a few people who have what called immune suppressed. Now, what I can tell you about this, that these diseases, they as a result of cell imbalance. You understand? All the damages of cells. Because first of all, if you want to treat these, or if you want to overcome these diseases, what you need to do, you have to focus on the foundation of a man. And where did man come from? For example, if you add 1 plus 1 scientifically, if you add 1 plus 1 scientifically equals to 1. Reason being, if you add a female cell plus a male cell, you get 1 cell. Now this cell cannot reproduce. What it does, it has to split into several cells. It multiplies. Then it forms what we call a membrane. A cell membrane separates a cell from its environment. Now inside a cell there is what we call a nucleus, which contains all the other nutrients which can make up another cell. So what does it mean? Within a certain period of time, this cell will develop into a tissue. You understand? Now, after developing into a tissue, it will form what we call the organs. Organs. Now, these organs will develop and forms what we call a system, a body system. As you can see, we have so many systems as we are going to see. Then this one, it will develop into a body. So where is the disease coming from? A disease, first of all, the word disease is a combination of 2 words. It means a disease. You understand? Meaning, if someone has a disease, meaning he has a disease. Now, this always comes from a cell in the body. You understand? Remember, this is, for example, if I talk of cancer, it's just a malignant cells. Now, where do malignant cells come from? From what we call a free radicals. We have what we call a free radicals. Now, these free radicals are the environment we live in, what we eat, what you drink, what enters into your body. For example, we have what we call air pollution. You cannot avoid this. We have what we call processed food, what you eat, like the machines which run the food you eat, and the way they process them, the packaging and the preservatives. We also have what we call medicinal side effect. Medicinal side effect. Remember, every drugs which is applied in the body, it must combine with the body cells so that it can work on the tissues which is having a problem, so that they also repairs that organ and also comes to a system which is already diseased. Then finally the body becomes normal. Now, as far as this the crisis we have, people are having a challenge of this COVID-19. It only attacks one system, which is the respiratory system, and which organ is controlled is the lungs. You understand? But we have so many organs in the body, we have so many systems in the body which can lead to a loss of life. So what I can tell you, these cells here, in case we get something which can rejuvenate back the malignant cells, then finally we are going to find that these diseases are normal. You get that? So how can we overcome these diseases? Is to find a source of a cell. Not to find a source of a drug, not to find a source of anything. But now these cells, God made man, we have two types of cells. There's some which are found in the body, there are other cells which are found in plants. And these cells which are found in a human being and plants is called eukaryotic cell. Now these cells, they have what we call a cell membrane, they have what we call a cytoplasm, then they have what we call a nucleus. But we have another one which is called prokaryotic cells. Now these cells, they have a cell membrane with a genetic material, but they have no nucleus. They have no nucleus. But these cells, while they move in the body, they will be looking for nutrients from the DNA, which is found in the nucleus of a normal cell. Finally, you find that a DNA has been denatured. And these free radicals, they fight with a DNA cells. While these DNA cells has been denatured, automatically when the proteins in this nucleus changes, automatically it will be detecting to produce a malignant cells in the body. Then you find someone, the health and the diseases start to setting in the body. And totally, they will tell you there is no drug which can cure this. Why? It is the drug which denatured the DNA of a human being, where cells are being manufactured. Remember, DNA is the machinery of cells in the body. You understand? So I want to look at these free radicals one by one, and how does it affect the body and causes these diseases. This is the rise of man, the anatomy. The rise, how man was formed into a full body. Now, how is the man going to fall? The fall of man comes here from the free radicals, the environment we live in, and what we eat. For example, I'm going to talk about air pollution. How does it affect our body and cause a disease to set in? What you can see here is that, assuming we have the food we eat, there's metals which grind the food we eat, those grinding millers and so on. They have the metals. So these metals, they peel off, then they put the sharp ones. You understand? Now these fine particles, they combine with food we eat. When we eat this food, remember our body is 80% water. Then we breathe in oxygen plus the iron. You understand? Here you are going to get what we call rustic. Now I want you to first examine, like the food you have eaten containing the iron plus this. If you get the combination, for example, let me assume this is your body cell, and this fine particle is attached here. You understand? If it rusts, it's going to leave this cell when it's already damaged. It will become a malignant cell. You understand? Also, what the air pollution, what we breathe, the air we breathe in, you understand? You find someone, you breathe in those carbon airs. When they enter the body, they are going to create what we call the stress inside your body. So when they create that stress, they will leave these cells when they are what? When they are totally damaged. Now the malignant cells, they are accumulating. Then we have the medicinal side effect. There are so many kind of drugs people use. For example, most of us, we grew with the drugs in our body. So the drugs, what it does, assuming this is a cell, the drug must behave like your cell so that it can come and combine with it. So in the process of this cell trying to combine with this cell to cover it so that it can be a normal cell, instead of repairing it, it will just coat it. That process is called mimicking. Now, if this cell has become mimic, there's a process what we call YCP, whereby this cell inhibits the drug to combine with it. So in the process of fighting, that's why most cases when you're being injected with this medication introduced, with some drugs, when they're introduced in your body, you find that you feel a lot of pain. You understand? Why? The cells are fighting with that drug. So they give you what's called painkillers. You understand? But now, this cell is going to be left when it's already damaged. Now, when you accumulate damaged cells, the malignant cells in the body, automatically the disease must set in. You understand? So, how can we rescue our cells in the body? I told you before, there are two types of cells. We have those ones which are found in animals and plants, and there are those which are just bacteria, which are the unicellular cells. So those unicellular cells, for them, they always look for the proteins. Remember, cells, they have what we call chromosomes, and we have chromosome and then chromosomes. So these ones are like chromosomes. They combine the amino acids. They combine amino acids. After combining amino acids, they create what we call proteins. And proteins is the building blocks. So it is the plants which can help your body to survive, not the drugs, in this case of when you have a virus in your body. You understand? So I'm going to show you what we call a stem cell. Where can we derive a cell? Because now the drugs has failed. So we are looking for where the cells are. But now, stem cells, always the history starts from here. Whereby, as I told you that after fertilization, this thing forms what we call a zygote, or what we call a blastocyte. So this is where we find cells. These cells are known as a stem cell because there are so many cells inside it which are not yet differentiated. So why do we define it as a stem cell? Because it has the capacity to become any cell which can repair the tissue. It has the capacity to become any cell which can repair the organs. It has the capacity to repair the system. It has the capacity to repair all your body. You understand? So this is the building blocks of the body. You understand? So if you want to get rid of this disease out of your body, you need to find what we call a stem cell. So a stem cell is a mother cell, you understand, which has capacity to reproduce other new cells and repair new tissues in the body. So any disease cannot be treated by the drugs, then you have to apply a stem cell. But initially we know the stem cell comes from the what? The embryo or the zygote. But still, we have cells in plants. So right now I'm going to talk about organic stem cells. So this organic stem cell is obtained from the what? From the plants. That's where these stem cells are formed. And we have so many ingredients we have used to come out with this organic stem cell. And the first one is called what we call Swiss apple or Atwilas patulaba, as you can see on your screen. So Atwilas patulaba, this apple is not like the same apple we know. This is a different type of apples. Remember, we have what we call GMO. Most people, they feed in fruits, but they don't get what the body needs. Why? These fruits have already been genetically modified. You understand? So GMO means genetically modified organism. Some of the plants that have changed their genetics, whereby they cannot provide the body the real nutrients we need to build our body cells back. And that's why we have come with this technology of phytocell technology to extract stem cells, and majorly we get it from the Swiss apple. Now this Swiss apple is found in Switzerland, and they tried to examine several experiments on this apple. Otherwise, they found a unique characteristics on this apple. Number one, this apple they tried to cut when it was on a tree, but it never rot. Otherwise, it recovered by itself. You understand? Secondly, this apple they took it to laboratory. They found when its cells, remember I told you, plants have cells. They found that cells in this apple is 80% similar to human cell. You understand? You can imagine that. As I told you, we have this cell which is found in animals and plants. So we can, if we fail to get stem cell from the animals, automatically run into the plants. So this is the apple which has helped us to get these 80% of the stem cell. In addition, we added other ingredients like grapes. So a stem cell, as I told you before, is a cells that can differentiate or develop into one or more various cells in the body. This can regenerate the damaged or sick cells. They are also termed as mother cells, since they produce other cells in the body. So these are the key ingredients they used to make what we call organic stem cell. As you can see, the first one, Atulus patulaba. This product has what we call, this apple has what we call regeneration and aging performance for rejuvenation, solar VTs, which protects and maintains the epidermal stem cell from the ultraviolet. As I told you, the human body has stem cells, and this one is also obtained from the plant. We have bilberries, improve the eyesight and treats the cataracts, CFS, hemorrhoids, diabetes, people with arthritis, gout and skin infection and kidney. Then we have also black currant, which improves the blood flow, like people with immune problem. You have immune, you can use it. Also helps that. Then we have Glycodine cantaloupe, and this one which prevents the cancer, like people with prostate cancer, improves the immune system, also skin health and diabetes and so on. Then we have what we call gliadin. This one promotes the body's natural antioxidant and then system, and improves the skin and also immune system, which means it prepares the bacteria and everything in the body to be destroyed by the immune system. As you can see, these are some of the testimonies of our stem cells. We have a normal cell. A normal cell looks like this, then a damaged one must look like so. These are the products we are talking about. And these are some of the testimonies of people who have used stem cells. This lady had what we call breast cancer. They applied stem cell, the lady became normal, so they wanted even to cut the breast. So this person had a diabetes. Just after 3 days, the legs have been turned well. So this is how you can use. Or under the tank, within 5 minutes, take 2 glasses of warm water. 30 minutes, then you can take your food. In the morning, you use an empty stomach. So for this case of these chronic diseases, if you use food supplement, can help you to resolve them, but you can't get total cure because there are cells which control every system here, as I'm going to show you. Now imagine, after getting 20, we added here 20%, we go to 100% organic stem cells. So we are using nature to restore a human. You understand? So if you want to get back your life in case of these chronic diseases, we get access to this organic stem cell. And this organic stem cell is so wonderful, and it has generated back life of many people. So if you are there and you have any chronic challenge with your body, maybe let me say you have lost hope, that there's no sure, I want to tell you today, there's already a solution. And this is the final research of science, whereby we can use only one product to cure over 140 chronic diseases. Found all the ingredients, then we form the product which is called STC30, as you can see. So this STC30 means stem cell 30 days of transformation. So this product, when you use it within 30 days, you are going to get transformation in your life. You understand? Yes. So these are some of the testimonies of people who have used a stem cell, as you can see. Then finally, if you want to access it, you can contact me on the contact you are seeing on the screen. Then finally, we can deliver to you at any place where you are. You understand? But we have so many people who are already on drugs. So this lady is a pharmacist, and she is well versed in these pharmaceuticals, and she prescribed many these drugs to most of the patients. And I know currently you might be using some of the drugs, which is not bad. You understand? So we want just to compare how these drugs can infect your life, and also in case you embark on stem cell. Because I know when I give you a stem cell, automatically you have to stay on this, any of this, which in case you are using. So within a certain period of time, I will...
My name is Asaba Elizabeth. I'm a medical personnel.
Medical personnel. Thank you very much. So you are well versed on these pharmacists, like these pharmaceuticals?
Yes.
So what I want to know, for example, if someone is having diabetics, you understand, you have diabetes, let me say type 1, type 2, no matter, you understand? So what type of the pharmaceuticals or the drugs you can recommend the patient so that you can at least preserve the life?
Yes.
So we usually give our patients drugs compared on the level of the diabetes the person has.
Yes.
For example, most drugs usually we have metformin and glibenclamide and so many others, I can say.
So how does it affect somebody? Like, for example, I have diabetes, then I've come to you, I've given me this. Now, how does it help me? Because me, first of all, I know all these diseases are caused by cells. You understand? Cell damage or destruction in the body. Okay? But now, if I get maybe a drug I'm using, right? So because I know there's no patient who needs just to use a drug, but you use it because of the pain. You understand? And automatically you need a cure. You understand? So how does it help the body? How does it help the body system? For example, someone with diabetes, because I know already the beta cells are no longer there, which is producing the insulin to control the cells. And because you know the body needs the what? The glucose, isn't it? Exactly, and the product controls the glucose level in the body, so that someone can get energy. Because in most cases, when someone is having maybe, let me say, low blood sugar level, what happens with that patient?
For example, when a patient has low glucose levels, when it is down, that is called hypoglycemia.
Yes.
That patient will lose energy. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when it's high,
when it is high, it is hyperglycemia.
yes.
When it is excessive in blood. So we always give these medication their importance. For example, in the body, we have what we call the pancreas.
Yeah.
In the pancreas, we have alpha and beta cells.
Exactly.
When those cells actually they get damaged, when someone has high glucose levels,
Yes.
which it means the beta cell does no longer produce insulin.
Yes.
And since the beta cell, it is the one to produce insulin.
Exactly.
So the insulin, the work of insulin, it works like as a
Regulate the
hormone.
blood.
It works like as a hormone.
It's a hormone automatically.
Yes.
Yes, it's a hormone.
So that insulin, it acts like as a piston. It locks and unlocks cells in the body to allow glucose or sugar to enter into the blood.
Yes.
Then when it's enough, it closes.
Yes.
Then
So-
yes.
How can this?
When a person has that problem, when the person they detect that person when he's having diabetes,
Yeah.
which means that the beta cells are no longer there, are no longer active, are damaged.
Yes.
So we have to introduce these pharmaceuticals to act as like as a beta cell.
Wow,
in
that's
the body.
great.
Yes.
So it just acts like, but it cannot
Yes.
bring back the beta cell, isn't it?
It makes a person
Exactly.
to reserve the
I've
life
got you.
of
Then
a
what
person.
about like a pressure or hypertension? People with hypertension, how does these prescribed drugs help them?
Okay, when someone has pressure or what we call hypertension, it means that person has a defect in the heart,
Yes.
what we call cardiovascular system.
Yes.
So we introduce drugs like propranolol, atenol, then amlodipine,
Yes.
Losartan, and so many drugs like lisinopril. There are so many.
So first of
So
all,
those ones, they help. Actually, when a person is having pressure,
Yeah.
it means the lumen of the blood vessels are narrowed,
Yeah.
are piled up with the fats.
Yes.
So when they be narrowed, which means the blood to actually the heart,
Yes.
it will create higher pressure to pump blood so that it can
arteries.
pass through the narrow lumen.
Yeah.
So these drugs, some of them, they hope to act as like the vasodilators.
Yeah.
They open the blood vessels to widen the lumen so that blood can flow in those lumen at low pressure. So it just helps.
and here you know we have two types of like when you are measuring, there's the up one and the down one, the systolic and the diastolic. Yes. So which one is more important in case when someone have maybe high diastolic or high systolic? So which one is more like which one can be controlled by majorly this one works on which one, or it works on both?
It works on both.
It works on both.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So
They should be in normal ranges, both. They
Yes.
should be in normal ranges for a person to be normal.
okay, that's good. So that's why me as a person with a stem cell, I only recommend you. Finally, you'll be using them because already you have the infection in the body. You understand? Maybe you have the vessels have been blocked. Remember, I'm going to talk about this. Okay, so you can have your seat, madam.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
these diseases, for example, diabetes, as she told us, we have what we call a beta cell. I think you can now remember, as I told you, that a man is made up of cells. There is nothing which can build your body more than a cell. So any challenge you have in your body is a cell. So if you get somebody who can refer a cell to you, then you are going to bring back your life. So finally, we have a beta cell. So this beta cell, it is work. For example, let me say this is the cell. Now this one is found in a pancreas. You understand? It's found in a pancreas. So this cell, beta cell, its work is to manufacture insulin. And insulin is a hormone. Insulin is a hormone. Why? Remember, when you have any kind of hormone imbalance in the body, automatically your body changes. Number one, you lose what we call low sex drive. You understand? Number two, your thinking capacity also deteriorates. So also when you have a hormone imbalance, you can gain or lose weight in the way you cannot explain. You understand? And hormone imbalance can also make you to sleep, uncontrolled sleep cycle. You find someone you can sleep whereby you can't even know what's happening. The same way I'm talking about the diabetes. Now this insulin, its work is to lock and unlock cells to take in glucose so that you can get energy. So in case these cells have been distracted by the free radicals, now then we apply in these pharmaceuticals, then start working as a what? A beta cell. But when you apply a stem cell in the body, what happens? Automatically you are going to rejuvenate back your beta cells. You understand? And why does this so many effect? For example, someone with diabetes, always they have related issues with the kidney problem. You can also have related issues with your liver. You understand? So you need a beta cell to come and start doing its work normally. You understand? So that's all about a diabetes. The things like you find someone goes and buys meat which has fats, then finally again you fry your meat. So when you eat that meat, the fats will always come and compile in the vessels. So when they compile, remember we have the vessels which bring in the blood, others they take it out. So finally when the blood reaches here, it will find the surface area of the arteries already done what? Is already narrow. So the heart will develop high blood pressure to pump the blood to pass via this what? This smaller vessel. Then you find someone having high blood pressure. You understand? So that's why this blood pressure they measure in two. There's one which is up, which is called systolic. Then we have the diastolic. So this one is for the heart. This one is for the arteries. You understand? The beating of the heart, then the beating of the transformation of the arteries. So someone, meaning both, have to be repaired so that someone can do what? Automatically, if you open this, even the heart might be having some other problem, you know, because we have what we call cardiac cells. These free radicals move all over the body. We have malignant cells, because everyone moving, we have malignant cells in our body. So those malignant cells, they don't die. Remember, a cell takes only 4 months in the body. And this cell gets off its work, then it becomes like a waste. So automatically after this damaged one, they don't die. They keep on existing in the body. And when they persist, they cause what we call chronic persistence. That's why they said these diseases cannot be cured. Why? Already the cells is already damaged and it is multiplying at the same time. It's damaging the tissues. Remember, when a cell gets a damage, automatically the tissue will get a problem. Then also the organ will have a problem, the system will have a problem, then you start getting a problem with the whole body. You understand? So that's how I can talk about a stem cell. How do you use this organic stem cell? It is just very friendly to human beings. You just pour it under the tank, 5 minutes, leave there, 5 minutes, then take 2 glasses of lukewarm water. Why? Remember, we have people with ulcers. Anyway, these ulcers means wounds. Remember, there's a cell which is called mucosa cell. This mucosa cell, its work is to produce mucus. This mucus is the one which acts as stomach walls. Understand? Stomach wall. So the moment you take these drugs, we have the drugs which is called the non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs. Like you have painkillers, we have the ibuprofens, we have the aspirins. Most people, they take painkillers. So the moment you use the painkillers, those drugs, they contain a lot of acid. So they cause contraction, you understand? So you find someone eats food and also they arose, they kill off these mucus cells. So when this mucus cell has been destroyed, there will be no more production of mucus. Then the acid will be pouring direct to the stomach, you understand? So then you find someone has ulcer. And there are those which are caused by the bacterial infection. So when you have bacterial infection, you can use stem cell at the same time when you use your antibiotics to destroy the what? The bacteria. You understand? So ulcers can be cured totally when you have a stem cell. But when they give you these non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, they may not help you. That's why many people are living with ulcers, but they have no cure. And I've used many diseases which is increased. And this thing, if you continue using those drugs, can also cause you what we call colon cancer. You understand? Which is so dangerous. But I recommend you to stem cell. Then sickle cells, these are just change of proteins. Remember, red cell, sickle cell is inherited red blood cell disorder. So when you have a stem cell has all nutrients which can repair the sickle cells, sickle means half. Someone have half cells, you understand? Meaning, the DNA is producing half cells because there's a change of protein in the what? In the DNA. So it will be producing sickle cell, then you get that disease. Then we have kidney diseases. These arise from what we eat, what we drink, because the kidney, its work is to filter. The reason why someone with diabetics gets the kidney problem, because the kidney needs energy every time. So when you have energy imbalance in your body, you can easily get what we call kidney disease. As I told you, a disease means disease. You understand? Meaning you have a kidney no longer filter the work well because of what we drink. You drink colored food and so on. We have hormone imbalance. We have what we call endocrine glands. They are cells which produce hormones. The work of hormones is to direct your body organs when and what to do something. Yeah. So we have arthritis. You know, these joints, those joint problems. Remember, white blood cells are produced from the bone marrow. You understand? So when the bone marrow has a problem, automatically these free radicals has entered there. So this is the fall of man, but still you can come back. And most especially when you are aged, like when you are aged of around 45 years, you are most likely to be attacked with these diseases. So the only solution is to get that stem cell, which can replicate back your stem cell in the body. Okay? So that's all about our stem cell. For more information, you will contact me. 30 days. It's called STC 30, stem cell 30 days of transformation. So when you use this product, within 30 days, you are going to be transformed. Thank you very much.